All right, welcome back to Foundation Friday. Every single Friday on my channel, 6 p.m. Pacific time, I test out a new foundation or do a new base related video. Today we're testing out a brand new foundation launch that I was so excited to try from J.Cat Beauty. It's the SkinSurance Max Coverage Silky Foundation. One of my favorite makeup products of all time is the J.Cat Aquasurance Powder Foundation. So anytime J.Cat releases a base product now, I'm on it. I gotta try it. So this foundation retails for $14.99. You get 1 fluid ounce of product, so great price point. And it comes in 16 shades. J.Cat is not known for their extensive shade range, I will say that. Definitely could have some more shades. The shade I have is actually Rose Beige, which looks like it's the 5th lightest shade, so there are quite a few fair shades out of 16. I'm going to pop in the little color chart right here, but the description of this says weightless buildable liquid foundation, key ingredients to help plump the skin while blurring out any imperfections. Long-lasting foundation that delivers a luminous natural glow, leaving the skin silky and smooth. It also has hyaluronic acid, which anytime I see a foundation that has hyaluronic acid, having drier skin, Clearly I'm excited about hyaluronic acid. But those are all the claims. I'm going to insert swatches here of the shade Rose Beige next to some of my other foundation shades. All right, so here are a few swatches. Right here is the J.Cat Aquasurance Liquid Foundation in Rose Beige. Next over is Estee Lauder Futurist in 1N0. This one I recently reviewed and I'm still getting questions about it, about like reviewing it, and I do have a video on it. So I'll link that in the eye down below if you missed that review, but it's a good one. You won't want to miss it. Zero Life Proof in 101 just for shade reference. And then Kokie Full Coverage Matte Foundation in 10C. So if you enjoy Foundation Fridays, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. I appreciate it. If you're new here, I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. I do 10-hour wear tests, flash tests, and shots in natural lighting. So let's get into Foundation Friday. All right, so it's 9:53 in the morning. The last video I filmed was my calming makeup tutorial video. I'll link the eye down below. But that was shot on this camera, but I had to like change all the settings around and stuff. So I'm just like hoping I got it back to how it was and you can hear me and see me and all those things. So let's get started. So I'm actually going to start dampening my sponge again. I was using it dry for a long time because that's what I do in daily life. I use the dry LA Girl sponge, but I know some of you want to see how it works with a damp sponge since that's what a lot of you, most of you probably use. So I'm going to go back, I think, to just dampening my sponge when I do the half face. I could not find the coverage anywhere, but it is called Max Coverage. I know my eyebrows are like horrendous right now. I'm going to pluck and tint them and everything probably tonight. It's getting bad. So going in with my Sigma F80, let's start out. Okay, off the bat, I feel the silky thing they're talking about. It does feel silky and just like gliding on really easily. So my face is quite a bit darker than my neck, so sometimes it looks super white when I first put it on, but then it kind of matches. This one might actually be a little bit light. But let's see if this kind of darkens at all. Is the J.Cat Aquasurance Powder Foundation. Darkens and like weirdly adjusts to your skin tone. I actually recently did an IGTV using that and it was my powder foundation routine. But the lightest shade of that one that I have oxidizes a crap ton. The shade that I wear when I have self-tanner on looks orange when I first put it on, but then it like weirdly adjusts to my face. So I feel like maybe every shade of that one kind of reacts differently. I have no idea. So it's not as much coverage as I was thinking for max coverage. I used a pretty decent amount. I can still see all of my freckles coming through. It basically covered up the redness and like evened out my skin tone, but I definitely can still see stuff coming through. It doesn't look like max full coverage at all, but it does say it's supposed to be buildable. So right now with the brush, I would say that looks like medium coverage. About the same coverage with a sponge, and I think I prefer the finish with a sponge. I just realized I did my entire forehead with a sponge, whoops, but it looks really nice on my forehead. It does look nice and silky and just like smooth, and I think I do prefer a sponge with this one. So I have a little bit left. I'm going to try and build it up on my redness areas because it does say it is buildable. Let's see. Whenever I build, I try and just focus it where I need it, like not on areas that's going to crease a lot. I still wouldn't call this like max coverage. I think if anything, you can get it to like a high medium coverage, but I like that. Like as long as everything looks even, and I'm liking the coverage now that I added a little bit more. I think I'm like weirdly sunburned right now. I don't know how, but my chest looks super red, so I don't know what that's from. I also have been testing a new body lotion, so I might be like having a reaction to that. Not sure because I don't know how to get sunburned right now. Okay, it's looking really nice on my forehead. Love how smooth it looks. And yeah, I think it looks like solid medium coverage. Let's see up close. It looks like a satin finish for sure. It's looking a tiny bit dry on my upper lip and around my mouth, but hopefully that doesn't get any worse. My forehead's looking good, like everywhere else is looking really nice. So right now I am into this one. Oh my god, if you saw my desk area right now, looks like a tornado hit it, literally. So I need to do some desk cleaning today. Right now it's 10:03. Actually feels like it's starting to set down a bit. So I'm gonna give it a few minutes. I will check back in with you guys once the rest of my makeup's on. Okay, so it's now 10:33, so I'm gonna call the check-in time 10:10 since that's about when I finished up with the face. But I did not have to powder this one, which I love. Having dry skin, if I don't have to powder something, it's always a plus. My makeup looks way better throughout the day if there's not like an added layer to emphasize like the dryness and texture and stuff. So I like that this like does set down. Like touching my face now on a tackiness level, I would give it like a 1.5. Like you can feel a tiny bit, but nothing. Like it basically sets down. But the one thing I think I would need a shade up actually, because I'm feeling like a little bit ghostly. I tried to really warm up my face today. I used the Kylie Tequila Tan, but I still feel a little ghostly, but we'll see how it looks in natural lighting. But right now, no complaints. Like I like the coverage, I like the finish. It's almost reminded me of the L'Oreal Fresh Wear foundation. Like I said, use this for bronzer. For blush, I used Physicians Formula, this middle shade right here. This is such a pretty blush, you guys. Like get this palette just for the blush and the highlight if they still make it. I know it was limited edition. I feel like it's not even like showing how it will in natural lighting, but this highlight has been growing on me. This is the Milani Supercharged Highlight Duo. I kind of just mixed the shades because this one is actually very subtle, but this one is very intense and it almost gives you that like summery spring pinky kind of look on your cheeks. So I just kind of mixed the two, and then on my nose I just used the lighter shade. And then for my eyes I used the Tati Beauty palette. I just haven't used this in a while, so I wanted to whip it out again and try it. I also retried this eyeliner from the Target hidden makeup video I did. It's the Wet n Wild Breakup Proof, so we'll see how this one wears throughout the full day. It's very black. First impressions, like from that video and today, great, but we'll see how it wears. Then I'm also still testing the Lancome Monsieur Big. And another J.Cat product I put on today was the SkinSurance concealer so that we can see a wear test on that too, basically. And I actually blended it out with the sponge today, and it looked way better than I've tried this a few times and I haven't hated it, but I haven't like loved it, but it looked way better blended out with a sponge today. And then I've been setting my concealer in a magical way, you guys. I think this is the best, even better than Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Loose Powder. This has been looking much better and it doesn't darken my eyes. This is the Laura Mercier Secret Blurring Powder for the under eyes. There's a lot of like very similar powders that look like this from Laura Mercier, so make sure it's the Secret Blurring one. I'll link it down below. I just go in with a dry sponge, swirl in here, and then press underneath my eyes, and it's helped a lot with the creasing. It doesn't like typically take away the coverage of the concealer, so I've just been big fan of this. For lips, I used Huda Beauty Bikini Babe liquid lipstick. This is a little travel size. Then I've been loving this MAC shade of lip gloss. It's in Deco Go-Go. I think this is new. It's like a light peachy one and it just lightens everything up really nicely. But let's go see what this looks like in natural lighting and we'll do a flash test. Did I just have that eyelash on my finger that whole time while I was talking? Maybe. Okay, so here we are in, oh my god, is this the 5th friggin' thing I've dropped today? We're in natural lighting. It's looking nice. I do see a bit more creasing than I could notice before, so I'm gonna zoom in. It's really good from far away. Looks good up close still too, but so here's my forehead. I like my forehead. I think this is one that would totally benefit from a setting spray. Like I think if I could just spray some MAC Fix Plus or Urban Decay All Nighter over top right now, it would kind of like melt everything together really nicely. But here's where I'm seeing a little bit of creasing starting, just my usual spots, but it is starting, so hopefully it doesn't get worse, but it's there. It looks a little bit makeup-y, like it doesn't look like a super natural foundation, but I do really think that a setting spray could help with that. And here's the concealer so that we can see what that looks like starting out. So here's the flash test. I just backed up into that corner where it's darker, took the photo, and here's what it looks like. So I don't think there's a major white cast. I just think that the foundation shade is a little bit off for me. Like I said, it could just be because I have this whatever's happening redness on my chest right now and my neck. So it looks soft in flash. It doesn't really seem like the flash is the problem. I think it's just the foundation shade. So right now I'm liking it. So I'll check back in a few hours back in natural lighting. Okay, so it's now 4:10. So the foundation's been on for 5 hours, 6 hours. My forehead's looking good, but the center of my face is looking real not good. It looks pretty cakey and very creasy. So let's start with my forehead. I feel like overall, just for like a satin matte kind of finish, my forehead's looking nice. But then down here, ooh, pretty intense creasing, but also just around my nose area, it's looking pretty cakey for only 6 hours in. I wiped off my lipstick because I wasn't in the mood, so I have some like leftover lip liner right now, but also just around here it's looking pretty just makeup-y and dry, like right on the center of my face. You can see a hair out of the corner of my eye. Where is it? If it's already this bad right now, 6 hours in, we'll see how it is at the end of the night. But okay, so it's now 8:49, so the foundation's been on for about 10.5 hours, and my eyes are burning right now, so I cannot wait to wash off my face. Basically, my forehead looks pretty good, like pretty great throughout the day. It hasn't gotten like overly dewy. It's not breaking down, but then it's a totally different story on the rest of my face. Same as before. So it's just like super cakey around my nose. It's like separating in some areas on my chin. Not great anywhere really down here. But here's my forehead. Besides whatever's happening like right here, it looks like it's breaking down a little bit. This whole area up here looks really nice. It looks very just like smooth and like a satin finish still. I don't know what's happening down here. I usually don't get like this around my nose, this degree. That looks like real bad. So because I like how it looks on my forehead, I feel like I do need to give this one another shot, just with like I said, different primer and setting spray. I have a feeling the setting spray is gonna really help the situation. So I definitely don't like how it looks here down, but this part is giving me hope. So I'm like iffy about this one. I don't think it's anything that you need to like run out and buy just off of first impressions. If you wanna try something from J.Cat though, definitely try their powder foundation. Amazing. But if you've tried this foundation, let me know what you think of it down below, how to go for you, what's your skin type. I'm so excited to get in the shower right now and wash up my face. It's the best feeling after filming a Foundation Friday. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.